It's time. Welcome to University Express, Erie County's free lifelong learning program. Thank you for joining us today. Erie County's Department for the Aging connects older adults with valuable programs like nutrition support, exercise classes, volunteer opportunities, and help with benefits and caregiving. For more information, you can call 858-8526, or since none of you wrote that down, you can ask time in the office. A quick note, we are back to using key tags for our class sign-in. If you need one, we have registration forms available and your tag will be mailed to you soon. If you already have a tag from any county program like our Stay Fit Dining program, it's the same tag, so you can bring it and we can scan it, no need for a new one. Remember, University Express offers almost 400 free in-person classes at 28 local centers and libraries each semester. This fall, we also have 60 virtual classes as well, where you can join in person or catch select sessions online. Membership isn't required. So today's is streamed online. Just so you know, nobody can see you, but they will be able to hear your voice if you ask a question or something like that, just so you're aware. So please silence your phone as we begin, and I'm delighted to introduce our speaker, Erin, leading today's class on Where's the Beef. So I'll hand it over to her to say a few things about herself.
So thank you for having me. I appreciate you all coming today. I'm a former chef. Before I started working for the county, I was a chef. I went to culinary school. That was back many years ago, but I attended Indiana University of Pennsylvania Culinary Arts Program. And I've worked at the Ritz-Carlton as well as a number of places around Buffalo and Western New York. My last job cooking, I did work for a farmer who has a store with, it's called Farmers and Artisans. So they have produce, meat products, prepared foods, straight from the farmer or artisan. So now I'm working with the county as a nutrition coordinator. I love food, so I love working in any realm in the food related business. So I'm really loving my time with the county. Today we're going to talk about a dish that I'll be making, which is a meatless dish, and it features tofu. Do we have any people here who have not had tofu before? Oh, yeah. All right. And so it'll be fun. You'll try something new. I'll be honest, I don't eat tofu a whole lot. I do prepare it for my daughter who is a pescatarian. So I just made some tofu for her last night. So it's really easy. And this dish I think you're going to really like because it's really tasty. And it's gonna, if you think you're not going to like tofu, this I think is going to change your mind. So what I did to start with tofu, if you don't know, you want to press out the liquid in the tofu. So I started with some earlier today.
Initial info. Yeah, I would like to be looking for tofu at the store. Sorry, I forgot that I need to speak louder. So my name is Leanne Bayous. I'm a dietitian of the county, and I'm on a lunch program here. So we eat lunch here. We do frozen meals for my senior now. And I'm here to assist Erin, also shares information on vegetarian or plant-based diet. But I thought to show you the packaging of the tofu. If you are at the store, if you shop for tofu, this is how it looks like. It's a 1 pound size. This is extra firm, and it's a Wegmans brand. But Aldi has it. I just found one. It's pretty popular nowadays. Even food pantries giving tofu out. So I don't know if the people can see it, but.
So this is the tofu package here, and what I like to do is just take the corner and pull it back. I'm gonna do it kind of over here.
Because there's water inside.
Yeah, and as you're trying to pull it open, it's kind of squeezing on the container, and you'll spill some. So I could do it, just wherever you don't care about getting wet. So, and I squeeze out about as much as I can to get it started. And then I'm going to open up the package This is an extra firm tofu, and that's gonna help the tofu stand up to the cooking process. Here's our block of tofu, if you haven't seen one before. I'm gonna cut that up, and so I'm gonna cut it up into 1-inch squares. So I just kind of eyeball that and cut slices like that. That's probably less than an inch. And if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. So
Use the whole block at a time. So you have to use the whole block. You don't have to, but if you don't want to use the whole block, want to store it away in water, submerge the whole thing. It's good for 3 to 5 days in the refrigerator. In the freezer, you can store it too, but it will change the texture. It will become spongy and it's still good. It's just not as great when you first open it. But yeah, you don't have to use it all at once. It's just easier when you cook it in bulk and it's stored away for later use.
believe it or not, it's not as much as it seems. My daughter usually eats it in 2 servings. This would probably be 2 to 3 servings, really. So, it may seem like a big block, but it's not too bad. You'll use it up pretty quickly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's in your cookbook. First recipe is the one that we're using today.
And here you can see I have little cubes like this, and I just have one of my dinner plates, and I put a paper towel down, lay the tofu there on the plate, and I'll put another paper towel on top, and I'll change out these paper towels to like get pretty much as much as I can of the liquid out. And then I have another plate on top. You kind of squeeze it down. You can put something like some cans on top and that are heavy, and just let that squeeze out. I can put that on there. So that's probably not going to be as, dry as what I've already started working on. But you can see these are the ones that I've pressed already. They pretty much look the same. Some of them will look a little bit, dehydrated. So, and then I have a bowl here with some cornstarch, and I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. The recipe calls for sea salt, I think. I'm just using table salt. That's fine.
If you want to reduce salt, you don't have to use it because we're going to use soy sauce, which is salt. It's low sodium soy sauce, but little things can add up. So you can skip that if you are concerned with sodium content, your high blood pressure, or a kidney problem. So any way you can reduce it. Just use seasoning, salted seasoning. Yes, question?
Can you just do a quick how tofu's made?
Yes. So I'm not expert, but I grew up eating tofu. It's made of soybean. It's similar to how you make cheese. You have to soak it, and then you have to press it and get the juice out, and then you go through that the clot, kind of like cheese clot, and you add coagulant to make it firm. So it's from liquid to turn into solid by using that coagulant. All done.
Okay, so I'm just tossing the tofu in the cornstarch that has a little bit of salt and pepper in it. I have this pan heating up, and so I'm just going to add about a tablespoon of, a little bit more, of oil to the pan. I'm using vegetable oil. In my last class, someone asked if they could use a different type of oil. That's fine if you want to use something that's got a higher smoke point that's meant for frying, but if you have something different that you like to use, that's fine.
vegetable oil has canola oil. I mean, olive oil, sure, but it's more expensive. We're also trying to introduce tech that is health budget friendly. So if you want to use premium items, sure, go for it.
And the reason we've got the cornstarch on here is because that's gonna help dry the surface of the tofu and make it crispier when you're frying it. And it does a really nice job. It's a good recipe.
So there's so many different texture of tofu. There is silken tofu. The texture is like pudding, and that won't be suitable for cooking because you're gonna stir frying this recipe, and the tofu will just crumble. You have to find the right texture. The soft kind will be good for dessert or for a smoothie, but for stir fry, you need extra butter.
And they're actually, if you shop at Wegmans, I know that they have another, even more firm tofu than this. I haven't tried that one myself, but I'd be interested to see the difference. And so this will just fry up for a little bit. That's actually have it kind of on a lower temperature. I don't want to burn it. But we also are going to add, the recipe doesn't call for this, but I do have some sugar snap peas here. You could use snow peas. And some shredded carrot just to kind of buff it up. Actually, I found that you could put more vegetables in this recipe, and there's plenty of sauce, I think, for it. So, and once you cook the vegetables, they kind of cook down a little bit. So I liked having more vegetable than what the recipe calls for.
It's good to have a balance because the tofu is protein. So imagine you're cooking chicken. You don't want to just eat chicken by itself. So you want to have vegetables to go with the tofu. And you can use any type of vegetables really. It doesn't have to be the ones that we show you. We can use canned vegetables, although not ideal because it's really kind of soft. We can drain it. It'll be fine. But in terms of budget friendly, I just have to throw it out. Like, if you have nothing to use at home, you have stuff in the pantry, you can just use it to add in with the tofu.
So what I'm gonna do here is I'm making the sauce for the dish, and it's really simple. Actually, I think it's surprising how good this recipe is with how few ingredients there are. So I'm just taking some soy sauce. I'm doing double the recipe, so I'm putting half a cup of soy sauce in here. And then we're gonna put some chili paste in. There's a number of different chili pastes out there. I actually just bought this one, which is one that I've purchased before and I like it. So,
You can use any hot sauce. This is from the store. It can be a little spicy with too much, so it's your own preference. And this is Asian dish, so that's why we're trying to use all the Asian ingredients.
yeah, so really do to your preference and whichever brand that you like. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit. I'm guessing, do we have anyone here who isn't really into spicy? Yeah, I would say there's probably a few, so we'll keep it kind of low key on that, in that respect. I'm gonna put a little cornstarch in here, and that'll thicken it up. It's a pretty quick dish too. The tofu, I actually did the tofu pressing the day before, the last time I made this, and then kept the paper towels on. I kept it in the bag like this with the paper towels. I probably changed the paper towels 2 or 3 times. It says you can use like a kitchen towel, but I think it's just easier to use the paper towels, and if you do the kitchen towels, I want to put them right in the wash and all that, so it's just a little bit more of a hassle. So, and then we're gonna put some ginger in here, and you can buy ginger already grated and in little cubes frozen. I got some at Trader Joe's, but I'm sure you can find it in a lot of places, or, you know, fresh ginger. This is a piece that I bought the other day. This is actually, if you ask me, a lucky find, because, you know, a lot of times they can be real little, have like little branches like this where, you know, it's a little bit harder to peel and, you know, grate. But this is a nice big one. And all I do is just use this as my garbage bag. So we can just peel it with the peeler. And if you didn't peel it, the peel will really stay on the opposite side of the grater usually. I'm gonna cut the end of this though. If you have like a really fibrous part there, you want to cut that off. I like to cut it off. And then you can really just use the fine part of your grater and grate that, and then add it in like that. Or I have a microplane. Does anyone have a microplane that's somewhat similar to this? Yeah, I mean, these are great. Generally, I don't like to have things that only do one thing, but this is really so easy. And definitely using this, if you had any of the peel on the outside, it would stay, you can see some of it here. It stays on this side of the microplane, and it's not going to go in your sauce. So maybe you can see. And then, you know, wipe that off so that it doesn't fall in by accident. And then you can take your spoon and these are easier to find now. Back when I was in culinary school, I mean, you would buy this, a really like kind of rough version of this, like from a hardware store. And so now I'm sure you've seen them all over at the stores. I'm going to check my tofu now. It's starting to brown up a little bit. It's not going to get too brown necessarily, so, but it will be crispy. Flip all this. And then I'm going to show you the tofu that I cut up in the start of the class, and show you what the paper towel is going to look like after a few minutes. But
To come on and
yeah,
what's
definitely feel free to come up. I'm going to try to show people at home. It's a little bit, it's just kind of a beige color, really, when it's, you could probably try to get more color on it, but I think that's good enough.
So curious, for those of you who have tried tofu, how would you describe the texture? What was that? Thank you. I hear you. It's nasty.
To me, texture is similar to cheese. It also depends on the texture of the food that you got. And I grew up not knowing to get out the water. So, but the way that Erin does it is going to change your mind about it. It's much firmer the excess water. So for those of you who haven't tried it, give it a try and share with everyone, especially people online, the texture part.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's also a matter of mind over matter, you know, it's something new, it's something that you're not used to. It really is quite different than anything else maybe that you've eaten, so it's kind of unique, I think. So that kind of turns you off sometimes to something if you're unsure. But really it's, you know, great protein source. It does give you something different to eat. Sometimes, you know, maybe like as we age, our teeth kind of are not chewing as well as we used to. And, or maybe on this side, it's, you know, we have sensitivity. This is something that's softer. You're getting the protein and it's just something different. I mean, it's just nice to have a little variety. And that's something I mentioned in my last class. You know, you don't have to worry as much about food safety, like if you're cooking chicken or some type of meat or seafood, then, you know, with the tofu, it's just a little bit easier and safer. You just have this little package, you slice it up, you press it, and it's easy. And you can see I
It's
put it
actually
myself.
ready to eat. You don't have to cook it, but we're cooking it because we want it to soak up all the flavor, and also we have to cook the vegetables too. That's why it's so convenient, so easy. There's no need to worry about like food safety too much versus handling meats, and it's so cheap. For that container, it's only about $3, or no more than $4, I'll say. So how can you get a pound of meat for that price? Yeah, this is very
Yeah.
affordable.
Could be like half the price or at least a couple dollars less. So this is the tofu I cut up. You can see the moisture has soaked in through the whole paper towel, just a little edge here and a little edge here, but it's mostly soaked up. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put new paper towel because I do want this to kind of dry out. So I'm just gonna switch the plates and it'll dry out pretty well.
So we did this class at two other places, Amherst and the city side. We are all actually pleasantly surprised how good it turned out. So definitely have to try before you say no.
Yes, you're really gonna definitely try. October for me was a month of convincing people to try things that they didn't think that they would like. I have one of my sites that they did not want pumpkin, and I brought a pumpkin dish for them to try, and literally one person said, "Oh, I like pumpkin." Everyone else said, "Oh no, I don't eat pumpkin." But I said, "Please just try it," and they all liked it. So I'm gonna try to continue with the tofu and see if I can keep that going. So I'm gonna show, if anybody wants to come up and look, I'm gonna try to tip. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna try to tip so that maybe we can see on TV on the live stream. So the tofu is crisping up here, and what I'll do is take it out of the pan, and I'll I'm just gonna put it into here and start the rest of the dish.
I bought some of the, like frozen crumblies that they make, that like a piece of ground beef, or I know they make like things that look like chicken patties and stuff. I know they're vegetarian, but I don't know what they're made out of. Would they be made out of soy like this?
Probably, yeah.
I'm not
I
too
think
sure
they,
about
I think
that.
they are made out of soy. I've gotten those. My daughter's kind of, you know, she likes some of them and doesn't like some of them. So, yeah, a lot of it is soy. The like, Beyond is, I think those usually aren't soy. And there's another one that I'm not gonna be able to think of right
I
now.
can see the branding.
Possible.
Yeah, maybe possible.
Yeah. I've used the ground beef ones, I mean, the ones that look like ground beef, to make
Uh-huh.
chili and stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody can tell the difference, although the second day, it's not as good.
Oh, you're kidding.
It breaks down.
I've always done, just more beans for, like, if it's a chili or something. I personally just like to do that. So I haven't tried that, but I'm just gonna add some more cornstarch because I'm gonna get that tofu started on finishing this.
So since the topic on plant-based diet, we're not trying to convince you to eat tofu all the time or switch to eating tofu. It's more so suggesting you this could be an alternative. There's so many options out there. There's beans, there's lentils, there's eggs. Depending on what kind of vegetarian you are, there's so many different categories. Like what Erin was saying, her daughter is pescatarian, which is basically still eating seafood. So you don't have to be strict vegan. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. I consider myself as flexitarian, which is flexible. Like occasionally I'm eating meatless, so we can try doing that too. So for those of you who are vegetarian, or what kind of vegetarian you are, or not, no vegetarian so far. Okay, which is fine. And you don't have to label yourself anything. You can just try one meatless meal a week. Yeah, you don't have to label yourself anything. It's just a suggestion kind of list, once a week. It's good for you, good for your health. It's cheaper and it's more sustainable with all the animals that they have to be raised. It's fun for everybody and on earth. So it's just to have a balance of both. So like rounded up in a band or?
No, it's already pre-cooked, it looks like it's already cooked ground beef. I'm with the frozen. What was in the bag?
I'm sorry.
What was in the bag?
That was just some chopped onion. So I have some red onion that I have chopped here, that I cut up beforehand. I'll be adding some bell pepper also, and garlic. While this, I like to let the onion cook up a little bit. A little trick with the garlic. Sometimes if you've been to one of my classes before, I always talk about using the jarred garlic, and that would be fine here. I'm going to use just fresh garlic today, and what I like to do to peel the garlic easier is soak it in water. I break up everyone here probably knows this. If you don't, so I like to soak the garlic cloves in water, and then that kind of makes the peel a little bit more flexible, a little tougher, so that it's not so fragile and chipping away as you're trying to peel it. It's more bendable, and you can peel it off really easy. So I don't like to. The recipe, I think, tells you to add the garlic and everything all in at once. I like to start the onion a little bit so that that can caramelize a little bit. That's the way I like it. If you want to add everything at once, you can. Just want to make sure you don't let your garlic burn. We're going to add some cashews, 1/4 cup of cashews. I am going to add my,
Sorry, any nut allergy? No.
okay. Yeah, if there's a nut allergy, obviously you can leave that out. I'm already adding extra vegetables, so there's plenty in the dish. So I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. adding in the bell pepper, add in the snow peas, sugar snap peas, we call it snow peas. I'm just throwing these in whole. You can cut them up if you'd like. And the shredded carrot. The good thing about this is that you can buy things that are pre-shredded and chopped if you want to. But it really doesn't take too much to chop this up. I'm using the mixed peppers and then adding the carrot and the snow peas. Which makes it a lot more colorful. I'm using toasted salted cashews here, but you could use something, a raw cashew or whatever you prefer.
Did you take the tofu out because it's delicate and then like crumble up while you're stirring?
I'm sorry,
Did you take the tofu out because it's more delicate and it would like get all crumbled up without stirring?
yeah, and then just to give these more space to brown up a little bit and soften up. So, cold, yeah, these are cold. So however you want to do it, you could chop them. You could get, it's, you know, you do what you like to a certain extent with these. I like to use a pot like this because my recipes tend to grow as I'm making them, and maybe you can relate. And it gives a little grace for all of that, so you don't have to worry about it too much. And now we've got our sauce we can add in and let that cook a little bit. Get my So that sauce had a little bit of cornstarch in it, so then we'll thicken it up. And having that sauce around the vegetables will help them cook down a little bit too. And we'll add back in the tofu. So while that's going, we can take this, and you can see that, hopefully you can see there's, you know, a wet spot here where it's coming up to the edges. And so this is soaking up more of that liquid. So we're just gonna, you could change the towels again. In the interest of time, we're just gonna take it as it is, like this, and we're gonna toss these in the cornstarch, just like we did the first. So pretty easy. They make little contraptions that you can use to press tofu. I don't think that's necessary personally, but you know, if you wanted to do that and have fun with it, that's another option. I saw one online, the Oxo Good Grips one was $25. So, you know, something to think about. All right. And this is done. So you can see that's pretty easy, pretty quick. You're not worrying about, like Leanne said, the tofu is ready to eat from the package. So you're not really worrying about, you know, internal temperature either. So, and it's really a beautiful dish. And it's delicious. So I think you're really gonna like it. We can start serving this one. While I get a little bit more going here. So does anybody remember what dish they had tofu in that when they've tried it before?
Hot and sour soup.
Hot and sour soup? And did you say you didn't like it or? No. No.
Another person like it.
Oh,
Hot and sour is the best.
That's
Tofu
a
just
sour.
had a transcendental.
okay.
I had maple walnut tofu ice cream
Ice cream?
Wow, where'd you have that?
at someone's house, and I told him not to tell my husband. He wouldn't
I've
eat
done
it,
that.
and
yeah.
he said it was delicious and wanted to know where they got it. And he says maple walnut is his favorite.
Oh
They
my
got
god.
it at Wegmans, and it cost a fortune, a little container.
Oh yeah, I bet. But
It was,
well,
it was delicious.
I'd like to know how much protein was in that,
I
because
know.
the protein of that, of the tofu would help balance out the sweet of the ice cream in your system, so, I don't know, yeah,
I'm
it's
just
more,
curious, is it tofu or soy ice cream?
Tofu.
Ooh, I've never had that in my life. Now I'm curious. I
We're
wanna
all
go
gonna
get it.
I
Yes,
said,
right,
"What's
yeah.
that?" I was a teacher, so I saved the container. I don't know what happened first, but I'll have to look and see what's.
With the tofu be replacing the dairy, like you said, the soft stuff used in a smoothie?
Yeah.
You're
right, the
using
silken
slice of-
tofu is probably what they use.
Yeah.
That increase the protein content, I would say. You still need your milk, you still need other ingredients, but instead of using protein powder, using tofu will boost the protein content. And well, you have soy milk too if you're allergic to dairy. So it's not just eating tofu, but you can have soy product. But yeah, never heard of tofu ice cream. I want to try it now, and thanks for sharing that. And I'm impressed how creative they get nowadays.
I know, I think I would choose it over pickle ice cream, that's for sure.
Pickle ice cream.
Don't you think?
We had company once and they were vegetarians and they brought a tofu turkey in the shape of a
Yeah.
turkey.
Tofurkey, they call it tofurkey.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
yeah, that's fun.
It smelled terrible when we put it in the oven to bake it.
Yeah, I
Even
don't
when you
think
cooked it, it was
Yeah, when we baked it, it just
still smelled terrible, huh?
reeked my house up.
Yeah, it's not the same. I tried because my friend was a vegan, strict vegan. We hosted Thanksgiving one year,
Oh,
and we thought to be thoughtful and let her have something. We bought tofurkey, so tofu, turkey, tofurkey. I still don't like it, even though I eat tofu all my life. So yes, not quite the same. Maybe they have to improve something with the recipe. But I like how you're adventurous. You're trying all these different things.
that's the thing, I think you have to do it right too, you know, it can be done well or not so well. So,
Mostly homemade.
Mostly okay. That's why it's so expensive, I guess. The tofu ice cream. Ace will look it up.
Okay,
Very
it's the brand.
Yeah, what's the
there's
brand one?
one brand that says tofu.
Oh, I was gonna share. So I just looked at the container. One serving is 8 grams, and there's about 4 to 5 servings. So that's a lot of protein. And for a little container, I would say it's about 20 grams usually per serving.
So,
So those are container. Wait, I just want to like it's 1 pound. So usually 1 pound has about.
We gotta get you like a meal.
It's a soy section. There's
is it always kept cold?
Yes. So someone was asking if there's any cholesterol. So cholesterol is made in animal product, this is plant-based, so there's usually no cholesterol or very minimal cholesterol. So that's why this one that switching to plant-based diet. It's heart healthy, lower cholesterol, and usually it's high in fiber with a plant-based diet.
Oh, yeah, no, well, you know, I don't know, it was just, I know it was tofu. And I took the, I asked if I could take the, I teach. I showed it to my kids. I just told them there's tofu. Place, I've got two right here. It looks good too. I'm so busy gonna get her like a mirror or something so I can see it in the box.
I do have more calls.
Just a little fun fact or informational fact. The soy, the tofu is also fortified with calcium. It's high in calcium. It's kidney friendly, low in phosphorus, low in potassium, low in sodium. It's just a sauce that you add to it that can increase the sodium. So, and it's actually considered super because that little thing is very nutritious. It's not just
Yeah. Yeah. To get a little taste of something. Yeah.
Yeah.
They also make
Yeah.
We don't know.
Be in like five or six. Want to try some? Yeah. You can tell her stuff. That's okay. You can look it up. Absolutely. We're grabbing some more bowls and I'll bring you some. You'll find them out. I did. Yeah, I think the rest.
Someone online wants to know if these flowers.
You could, but you're gonna really have to just make sure that you're cooking all sides of it. Or you just, cause you really wanna, they want you to cook the flour now. So I would say it's possible, you just might end up with a little bit of that flour flavor. If you don't ground it up good. And it's just not gonna, it won't thicken as fast. But it's possible. But yeah, if you can't use cornstarch, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know, I agree.
What actually, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
And as much time.
Almost done.
Yeah, but but basically, yeah, pressure on it. Depending on what it is. I would, yeah.
Really good, you made it. Oh, thank you. Yeah.